this is BioPhoenix here, and if you remember from last time, I reviewed a very shitty game, but today I'm going to review a game that is the exact opposite. And if you cannot read the title yet, well, the game I'm going to be reviewing is The Legend of Zelda. It was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1986 in Japan, but released in 1987 in North America and the PAL region. Now, anyone that knows me personally knows that I fucking love Zelda games. In fact, they're one of my favorite game franchises of all time. And there is a lot of game series that I do consider to be up there, so that's saying a lot. Now let's begin this review and the start of where it all began. Now this is an adventure game in an aerial view with many places to explore and puzzles to overcome. Now when this game came out, this game was very challenging unless you had Nintendo power, but it was still pretty hard. In fact, I can never beat this game, but I have gotten pretty far through it, and I have gotten far enough to actually know what happens and all this type of stuff, so at least I actually know what I'm talking about. So the story is pretty basic. It's where you are Link, and you must get the shards of the Triforce of Wisdom to save Zelda and beat the shit out of Ganon, all that type of good stuff. But it's nothing complicated unless we're talking about the Zelda timeline, but don't get me started with that shit because this is not the time to discuss that because it's all wonky and all that. But if you really do want to know about it, just go get the Zelda Historia book. Now when it comes to the gameplay, it's very fun. And it was pretty new for its time, so this is considered a classic and a great one to be exact. And the controls are really great. They're simple and it works very well, so no complaints there. But I do have one little small complaint about something random with this game though. See that gray box up there? That's supposed to be a map, and the green dot is supposed to represent you where you are on the map. And it's pretty fucking hard to read, because, you know, it's not very detailed at all, and sometimes I don't even know where the fuck I'm going to be going half the time. So it would have been nice if they added some more detail to it, but you know what? It's still okay as it is. It's just one thing I just wish that would have made it a lot better though. When you go into a dungeon though, the map is like a grid, so it makes it easier to know where you're going in that dungeon. So I don't really see a big problem with that. Oh, and one more thing about the dungeons I always found really weird is that why the hell does one of the dungeons look like a swastika? I always found that really fucked up. But let's move on to the graphics, and they're actually pretty good for their time. You can actually tell what things are, despite the names of what the fuck the monsters are, because if you look in the manual, it's pretty fucked up. Just go take a look for yourself. Now the music in this game is awesome. I find it really catchy and sounds good, and the Zelda theme is very memorable. Now you're all probably wondering what I'm going to be rating this game, because, well, for one, I've said so many good things about it, and you all know that I actually really like Zelda games a lot. So are you going to be thinking that I'm going to rate this game a 10 out of 10? Well, guess what, you're wrong. I'm actually going to rate it a 9 out of 10. Because I know one thing for a fact is that, in my opinion, there is no game that is perfect. So it's going to be very, very hard for me to actually give a game a 10, even though a 10 doesn't always have to be a perfect. It could just be like just something that's very, very good with like probably the least amount of flaws as possible. But this is no like contest to see which game is like better than all the rest of them or anything. So if you're wondering why I gave this game a 9 out of 10, it's because it's a great adventure game that pretty much started the entire series. And that makes it a pure NES classic. Now if you want to buy the original game for the NES, well, it's not rare or anything, but I know around in my area they always sell it for like $30 around, which is kinda a lot, sorta. So I never really bothered of paying that much just to get a game that I'm sure that I can probably get a bit cheaper than that. But this game also has came out on other different consoles as well. So that's good that there are other ways that you can get this game. Like you can get the Zelda Collector's Edition on the GameCube, you can get it on the Game Boy Advance, and you can even get it on the Wii Virtual Console, so that's pretty cool. But sadly I don't have the NES version, but you know what? Like I said before, there are many other ways that you can play this game, like I have played it a lot on the GameCube, so it's all fucking great. But if you have not played this game at all, well then you're missing out on a great adventure that is just waiting to happen for you. Now before I end this video, I would love to review every single Zelda game that I possibly can, but I can't do that in this one video. So later sometime down the road, I'll try to get as many done as I can. So if you're a fan of Zelda, and you also just so happen to be a fan of my channel, which is probably very surprising, but you can keep an eye out on that. So I hope you enjoyed this review, thanks for watching and commenting. By the way, one last thing before I end this video that I should probably mention. I'm not going to be doing any type of holiday special videos just yet there, considering the fact I just started doing my reviewing, but I will sometime during in the future. And yes, I am very well aware that today is April Fool's Day, and you know what, there's already enough stupid April Fool's jokes going around for today, so I'm just going to just cut the bullshit and just throw out the basic point. But on a side note though, apparently this is my 100th video that I uploaded, and not that it really means much, considering the fact there are people that upload hundreds of videos a day. I blame some of the video game music that I've been uploading for that, but you know what? Fuck it, whatever. This is the 100th video that I have actually uploaded. But I may probably do something special for the 100th video game that I reviewed, but that probably won't be for a while though, so don't get your hopes up. Alright, that is all I have to say at the end, so, have a good day everyone.